Here's how the auction works in general. Number one, there are liens against these properties. There are lots of liens that will go against properties. They could be municipal liens. That could be like your water bill is a public municipal utility, typically in most cities. So if you don't pay your water bill, it will show up as a municipal lien, and then your property will eventually get pushed onto one of these auctions. The sheriff sale is what they'll call them in a lot of cities. It could be a tax sale or the mortgage foreclosure sale. The mortgage foreclosure is, of course, if you're delinquent on your mortgage and you fall behind. So the reason that these properties are at the auction is because they have liens. You need to learn more about how to research those liens and which ones are more important, which ones are inferior, superior. We'll get into all of that on the next session, which will be on Wednesday. Make sure you guys tap in on IG 12 p.m. Pacific on Wednesday, because we're going to build on this. So there are liens against properties. They come to the auction. Number two, the property can be transferred free and clear. It's not a guarantee that they're going to be transferred free and clear. They could be. And that's where that research comes into place. You need to know which types of auctions transfer properties truly free and clear and which ones don't, and what types of liens and encumbrances can be on those properties. And we'll talk about that as we get into this. You typically need a 10% deposit if you're the winning bidder. So if you win at the auction, you have to put down 10% right there on the spot. So if the winning bid was 300,000, let's go 30,000. You would have to put down 3,000 to secure that property. And then you're going to have to come back with the other 90% within 15 to 30 days. So that gives you some time to come up with the bread, to come up with the money. You can go to the auction, do your research, get a nice property, and then you can go and raise the money or go get the money to come up with the other 90% if you're trying to do more of a like low or no cash strategy. There are ways to kind of navigate this, but you do have some time before you have to come up with 100% of the money. They don't need 100% at the auction. 5, there are online and there are in-person auctions. Most of the in-person auctions have gone online because of the, what happened in 2020. Everybody kind of shifted for the most part. There are still some online, in-person ones. I wouldn't anticipate that any of the online auctions are going to come back in person. I would not anticipate that. People want it because it can box out competition. An online auction is open to more people, but I just wouldn't anticipate that coming back. It's not going to come back. So if you're online or you shift, your municipality shifted to online, it's going to stay there. To me, is there a big difference? I like the in-person better because you can go talk to people. You can see who's bidding where. Why are they buying that property for 80K? Go talk to them during the break. Hey man, what's going on in that 19133 zip code that I'm clearly unaware of? And people will talk to you. People at the auction, you're dealing with pretty much all sophisticated developers. They're not unsophisticated. Well, I won't say that. There can be unsophisticated people at the auction, but for the most part, the repeat buyers, they're very sophisticated. One conversation with them would be a masterclass. One conversation with them is almost like talking to me. Like it's a $20,000 education right there. People are paying more to go to college for a year than and getting less value than you would get from one conversation with somebody at the auction who's sophisticated, who's been doing this for years, and who knows what's going on behind the scenes and where the city is pouring money, and they can educate you at such a high level. That could be $1 million conversation right there. So the in-person is powerful. Online, you can't see anybody, you can't talk to anybody. So it kind of hurts you. But there are ways to navigate the online auctions as well that can be advantageous. And how much cash do you need to get started? You typically want to have, I would say in terms of cash, unless you're doing one of the low or no cash strategies, you're going to need at least like 20, 30 grand at most auctions to be able to come in and get something. And it depends on what type of auction you're at. If you're at the tax sale auction, you could probably start with like 5 to 10K. There are properties you can get at a tax sale for $1,000, $500, $2,000. If you're going to a mortgage foreclosure sale, it's going to be a bit more expensive. You want to have at least 30K, 40K to play with.